30 seconds.
Roger.
20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Roll's completed.
Roger, roll complete.
There goes the pitch.
Roger, pitch. You're on your way, Molly Brown.
Yeah, man.
We're a little bit high on the flight path, but no problem, Molly Brown.
Okay, Molly Brown's go for staging.
Roger, looks good from here.
Roger. Program date received.
Roger, update.
Okay, there was staging.
Roger, stage.
And we're thrusting.
Okay, thrust looks good from here.
Show full scale round to there. Okay, we're starting to steer. The horizon's been right in view.
Roger.
Our GS is go.
Looks good from here.
Oh man, look at that.
Steering is good from here.
Stand by to copy 2-1.
Roger.
Delta V 139. GMTRC 155547. GETRC 013147. Roll left 55. GMTRB 160531. Roll right 65.
Roger, copy Delta V 139. GMTRC 155547. GETRC 013147. Roll left 55. GMTRB 160531. Roll right 65.
Roger.
Now can I ring Capcom? Go ahead. Roger, your Texas burn will be 48 feet per second for 73 seconds. Okay, 48 feet per second for 73 seconds. So far we got your TR and Gemini load in. Your clocks look good on the ground. Everything's good here. See you next trip.
Molly Brown, Cape Capcom.
Go, Cape Capcom.
Look better from there than on a ballistic flight?
Say again?
Does it look better from there than on a ballistic flight?
Sully, it's hilarious that you post that. I'm actually in the middle of making a video that's about Tatooine being flat. That's hilarious that you bring that up. One sec, guys. The stream will start
Any of
momentarily.
the things we asked him to try did anything with the control system. I'm not concerned about it, just want to know how it acted. As far as we're concerned, he's go for the second orbit.
You still got a blood pressure, John? We didn't read it.
Hey, sir, okay, I'll give you another one.
Okay. Just wonder if he was breathing. Pretty spectacular up there, huh?
Say again?
Pretty spectacular up there, huh?
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
RKV from Cape Flight.
Cape Flight RKV, Capcom.
Roger, you are prime for retro.
Oh, Roger, understand.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Retro fire.
Retro. Roger, retro. Rocketry. Rocket 2. Rocket number 4. Molly Brown, you control rocket fire rolling.
30 seconds.
We are go for launch. Welcome, guys. It is 7:53, and I'm going to be hanging out with you guys for probably about an hour. We shall see. But welcome, one and all. I hope you're having a fantastic start of your week. Had a good lazy weekend over here at the Greedo house. Just kind of hung out, went on a bunch of walks, drank a bunch of beer, played with a girly whirly, and it was a good time. Now we're into the week. It is time to buckle down, make some videos, get back to work. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. We are here for an hour. The topic of conversation is, what is your all-time favorite Star Wars game? You can type a list up if you want to, but I want to know that the Star Wars game that impacted you the most. The Star Wars game, not even that you played the most. What is your all-time favorite Star Wars game that kind of defines what a Star Wars game is to you? So, welcome, guys. That being the topic, let's jump into some of these Super Chat. Carter and Caleb and Swishfish and Sully Hogs and Caleb and Vince, thank you guys so much for firing over some channel support before the stream even technically began. Here we are. Carter was the first one, it looks like, on the list. Carter says, Super Shadow to Mike Zero, I have been your every voice you have ever heard inside your head. If I was into that kind of shit talking parody stuff, that would be a good one for sure. So make it. Make it, man. But Carter, good to see you as always. And I appreciate that channel support. Let me take a quick sip of the old water today. I haven't had much of. It's very rare for me to not have much, but I have not had much water today. There we go. Anyway, Carter, I appreciate that. And Caleb Gimp, hello there, General Kenobi. Good to see you as always, man. Let's plan some Battlefront this week at some point. Not tonight, but this week for sure. Need to get back into it. Play a little co-op. The Rebellion? What do they call the eras? The Age of the Rebellion? Is that what they call it? Yeah, I dig it. But anyway, good to see you, Caleb. Hope everything's going well for you. And Swish Fish, Battlefront 2, 2005 probably. Rogue Leader, a very close second. So, Swish, first of all, thank you so much, man. There's no question in my mind that a lot of people are going to have Battlefront 2, 2005, that Battlefront 2, pretty high on their list. For me, in 2005, I wasn't playing very much Battlefront. I definitely played the first one more than the second one. I did own both of them, but for whatever reason, I can tell you the reason. In 2005, I wasn't thinking about very many games. If I was playing games at the time, I was playing Counter-Strike or Ultima Online. I was making Counter-Strike maps in 2005. I graduated from high school the year prior, so I was gearing up to go to school down in Orlando for a little bit. I was making Counter-Strike maps. I was playing Counter-Strike. I was hosting my own Counter-Strike server and playing Ultima Online here and there. And dabbling in Star Wars Galaxies. I think by then it was kind of a different game. As my voice goes up. But so yeah, I didn't play too much of it. And that Rogue Leader is Rogue Squadron 2, right? I think so. Let's see. Rogue Leader Star Wars game. Yeah. Okay, so I actually never played that either. I never played that Swish Fish. The only Rogue Leader game, the only Rogue Squadron game that I ever played was the original Rogue Squadron, and I had that for the Nintendo 64. I never played Rogue Squadron 2 because I never owned a GameCube. And there's a lot of games around. I don't know. There's a lot of games in like the early 2000s to mid 2000s Star Wars games that I never played. I never played when they first came out, at least. Like when The Force Unleashed first came out, I never played it. When I guess this Rogue Squadron 2 came out, I never played it. When what is that one called? Republic Commando came out, I never played it. So there's just a lot. Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, or whatever it's called. Dark Forces 2. There's just a Jedi. Yeah, there's a ton of them that I never played, but yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Swish. And Sully Hogs, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. A guy in the Discord named the one and only Gree has a parody idea. The idea was that some Imperials thought the Death Star was flat. You might have heard me say this at the beginning of the stream. Before the stream started, I unmuted myself and talked about it. It's funny that he brings that up, and you bring that up, because I actually have a video completely scripted. It's not about the Death Star, it's about Tatooine. And the script is, it's if Tatooine was a ball, then sand wouldn't stick to it. It is the dumbest video, but I'm super excited to make it. Can you do a word count? I guess you can't do a word count. But yeah, I have a very similar idea, man. Already written out. This is what Tatooine actually looks like. It's a flat disc, similar to a plate or a frisbee or a round table or a compact disc or a pancake. And I just list off like 30 things that are flat. Don't forget to buy my Tatooine Truth book. Check out my Flat Tat t-shirts, only $30. A pack of 5 stickers for $15. What a steal. Yeah, I literally have a video entirely already written out about this, Sully. That's hilarious. But anyway, I appreciate that, man. This is actually a video. Let's see when I made this folder. It's a video idea that I've had for a very, very long time. So the video, I actually made the video February, or the folder for the video on February 1st, 2019. So over a year ago, I've had this folder sitting here, and only until maybe 2 weeks ago, I revisited. I was going through my list of folders, as I sometimes do, just to see what ideas I never made. And that was one that I was like, oh, that's a fun idea. I need to go back to it. But hilarious timing. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Caleb Kemp, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well, man. Currently, my favorite is EA Battlefront 2. Shocking, right? LOL. Caleb. No, it's not shocking. I mean, I can completely see why it is or would be people's favorite Star Wars game. Especially couple of years after it was released. I mean, it is such a solid game, so many eras represented, so many styles of gameplay, more modes, skins and heroes and villains. The game is so, I mean, the only thing that is lacking for me is a server browser and heavy customization for the servers that you create, right? Modifications, whatever you want to call it, level design, that kind of stuff. So I think for me, I obviously have played it a lot more than the original Battlefront games. Just by that alone, I like it better than the original. Now, I did play both of those, as I said earlier. If I put a lot of hours into them, like I did with shit like Counter-Strike or Day of Defeat, I might have heavy nostalgia goggles for those games, but I don't. So I completely understand why modern Battlefront 2 is your favorite Star Wars game. I mean, you can sink a lot of hours into it, right? It's just fun, fast-paced. Yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, Caleb. And Vince Wynn, what do you think of Jedi Master? Is this a huge ass joke? Hayu J-ass? Huge ass? I've never seen that joke spelled like that, to where it's super confusing. Huge ass. I think I've only seen it spelled like Hugh, like, you know, Hugh Jackman, and then J-A-S-S. You're being serious. Jedi Master Hugh Jass probably has the best fighting style of any Jedi Master. He is from the planet Uspa, and he fights fast, and he's really good at Jedi Force push and pull, and he can defeat any enemy that comes in contact with him. There's no way that Darth Maul could defeat Jedi Master Hugh Jass. It's written in the canon. Bart Simpson, of course. I haven't watched Simpsons in so long. Do they still have that running gag of Bart pranking the bar? Maybe they do. I'm not sure. I haven't watched a Simpsons. I mean, golly, I haven't sat down and watched a Simpsons episode in probably over. I know for a fact over 10 years. That's crazy. That's crazy. Come on. Anyway, I appreciate that, Vince. See more butts. Yeah. See more butts is good. Vault69, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. The games that had the biggest impact for me was the Lego games. For the PS2, they got me into Star Wars months before I saw any of the films. That's really interesting, Vault. I know a few people whose favorite Star Wars stories and whatnot are Star Wars games. It's interesting how everything is very different for so many people. So, and it's also really interesting to hear that your first introduction into Star Wars were these Lego games. That's pretty awesome. I didn't play a Lego Star Wars game until, I'm gonna say, maybe 2012. Maybe even later than that. When did the saga come out? Star Wars Lego Saga. Okay, so the complete saga was 2007. So yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't around then. I'm gonna say I never played a Lego Star Wars game until either 2012 or 2013. Because I believe it's when I got my my Wii U is when I bought it, I think. So yeah, so Wii U, that makes sense. It came out in 2012. So yeah, 2012, 2013. For whatever reason, man, I've never been able to get into those. I didn't own a PS2 back then. I didn't own really much of any console back when 2000 in yeah, but in 2007. But the one that I've tried to play recently was the Force Awakens one. I just suck so bad at those Lego games for whatever reason, man. Like I tried to play the Force Awakens Lego game on a stream when it first came out. And oh my god, it was embarrassing because I was just trying to pay attention to the chat and also run through the motions of the game. And I didn't realize for the longest time you could switch between characters, and I didn't realize that other characters could participate in solving puzzles, and I was just so confused. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Vault. Hope you're having a good one, man. And Ethan Marsh, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well. Do you think there will be another game like SWTOR for console in the future? What would you like it? Oh, what would you like in it? And when would you want to see it? Plus, my favorite game is Star Wars Battlefront 2 2005. Makes sense, man. So, first of all, thank you so much, Ethan. Do I think that there will be another game like SWTOR? So, for those of you who don't know, and there's probably a few of you, Star Wars: The Old Republic is it's an MMO. It's a massively multiplayer game. It's still on. It's still running. There's still updates. A lot of people playing it apparently. I remember playing it the day it went live, and it was fun. You know, it's kind of a run of the mill for me at least. This isn't a negative thing. I played the hell out of it and I loved it when it first came out. It's a very kind of wowy, simple, story-driven MMO, and it's fun. And the PvP arenas are fun, and all that kind of stuff is fun. It's not my type of MMO per se. I would rather have something way more free, like a Star Wars Galaxies or Ultima Online, something like that. But that being said, I would love for another Star Wars MMO to be made. Not necessarily like Star Wars: The Old Republic, but an MMO would be great. I would love it to be I don't know, man. I would love there to be heavy flight simulation aspects to it. I would love for MMOs, man, Ethan. What I love about MMOs, and I guess this is a good segue for me to talk about my favorite Star Wars game of all time, which is Star Wars Galaxies. So when I think of MMOs and the MMOs that have impacted me the most, you know, there's two that come to mind: Ultima Online and Star Wars Galaxies. In both of those games, you didn't have to go full combat. You could be a tailor or a blacksmith, or in the case of Star Wars Galaxies, you could be a doctor. You could literally be a dancer and make credits in the cantina. You could be a musician in the cantina. I mean, you weren't just playing a Star Wars game. You were living in the Star Wars universe. So if there was going to be another MMO made, Ethan, I would love for more aspects in terms of gameplay freedom and world customization that Star Wars Galaxies offered, with maybe a heavy-handed dose of like the Old Republic combat system, smoothness of the combat, and story. You know what I mean? Because Galaxies didn't have a story. I mean, there were a few missions here and there that you could, but it was basically you were dumped into a sandbox with Star Wars. I don't know, details, and you charted your own path, right? So, yeah, I would love it, man, for another Star Wars MMO to be made, and sure, a console. I mean, are MMOs really have they kind of died off? I'm sure they're still making them, and I know, like you said, SWTOR is still available. Star Trek Online is still available. Elder Scrolls Online is still available, which is pretty fun. But so many of them are so similar to one another, you know? Nothing really breaks the mold. For a long time, at least. For a very long time, nothing really broke the mold. Everything was just kind of a WoW clone, right? But I think lately, a lot of survival games kind of take what I loved about those two, or especially Ultima Online. A lot of survival games take aspects of Ultima Online or kind of inspiration from it and almost make a better MMO in a survival game than some of the MMOs that are called MMOs, if that makes sense. Like Rust even, or Age of Conan, those kind of games, you know. You level up, or you skill up, you build your own homes, you live in this world, you are literally role-playing in this world. You can be killed, you can kill, and there's no restrictions. You have ultimate freedom, you know. That's what I love about MMOs. So anyway, what am I even talking about? But Ethan, I appreciate that, man. Long story short, I would love a modern Star Wars MMO. I don't know if we'll ever get it. It's just a different world nowadays, you know. Could be wrong. I mean, people would play it, right? People play the Star Wars The Old Republic still. And if something new came out, I'm sure people would dip their toes into that. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Carter Lovejoy once again. So if the Death Star and Tatooine were flat, does that mean that Jeffrey Palpatine didn't kill himself? Everything's a conspiracy in Star Wars, man. Everything's a conspiracy in Star Wars, man. Space doesn't exist. Space is just a construct for the Empire to keep you down, man. You live down here on Tatooine. They want you to stay down on Tatooine, man. So they tell you that there's an immovable black void above your head, man. That you can't escape, man. Galactic Empire, space, my ass, Darth Vader, the Force. Get the hell out of here. But I appreciate that, Carter. I need to make that video for sure. I need to figure out where I need to pour sand. I got a bunch of stupid ideas that need to that I need to make. Well, a lot of those kind of videos require, you know, very, very quick and simple shots and scenes that take, like, I could shoot a 5-second thing for that video and it might take me 20 minutes to set up the shot, you know what I mean? So, like, it's really dumb, but something like that might actually take longer than some of my longer scripted videos, if that makes sense. And the video might only be a minute and a half, but, yeah. Anyway. Overlorded Sith, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. It's good to see you, as always. Hey, I got Battlefront 2 reinstalled because of an update and don't have class all week at USU, so let me know. Oh yeah, sounds good, man. Absolutely. Let's I'll plan on playing it at some point during this week. I'm guessing maybe Wednesday? I think Wednesday would be good or best for me. I'm trying to think. Yeah, maybe I'll start Maybe I'll do an hour of Lightspeed Lounge on Wednesday and then jump in for 30 minutes of Battlefront or something like that. So yeah, let's plan on Wednesday. Plan around. I'll start the stream at like 7 p.m. on Wednesday Eastern time, and then probably jump into Battlefront around 8 p.m. Eastern time. So let's just tentatively say that. I'm sure Caleb and Wayfez will be up for it too. But and you said favorite Star Wars game, Star Wars Conquest. Star Wars Conquest. Star Wars Conquest. Oh, it's a mod for Mountain Blade. Is that what you're talking about? Oh, interesting. I don't know if this is the one that... this must be the one. I've had people recommend mods to me and stuff like that, and this is... I don't know if this is exactly what... Oh, this looks really cool, man. Mountain Blade came out this long ago? When did these graphics look older than... I typed in Mountain. Mount and Blade. Mount and Blade came out in 2008. Wow. Oh, 2008. Interesting. Star Wars Conquest. Is This looks really neat, man. I'm assuming... I'm pretty sure they made Mountain Blade sequels, right? Warband. Mountain Blade versus Mountain Blade 2. Okay. Oh, 2019 another one came out. Right? Hold on. I'm going down a rabbit hole real quick. Mount and Blade. Mount and Blade 2. Oh, it's not out yet. Ah, okay, cool. Early access. Gotcha. Oh, nice. All right. Let's see how much the original is. Free demo. Mountain Blade Warband. Mountain Blade Warband. I just want the cheapest. Okay, $10. That's not bad. I don't know why me and my buddies never played this. Wait, Mountain Blade is a one-player... It's a single-player game? It's a single-player game? I could have swore it was... a multiplayer game. Huh. Weird, man. This whole time, maybe I thought Mountain Blade was something completely different. Alright, I'm going to have to go down a rabbit hole here, Overlorded, and look into this. Maybe I'm thinking of something different. Mount and Blade. It says it's a single-player game. I always thought it was like a multiplayer game, and it's almost like deathmatch with swords and stuff. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Maybe I'm thinking of that chivalry game. Maybe that's it. Anyway, I appreciate that, Overlorded. And yeah, Wednesday. Let's plan on that. And I just paid for EduBirdie. What's up, man? Good to see you as always. NCFIRJJFSNJD. I just paid for EduBirdie. I don't know what that, because I'm too lazy to write. What is EduBirdie? I've never heard of this. What in the hell is it? EduBirdie is a professional writing and academic aid platform that offers services including ghostwriting, essay creation, proofreading, and plagiarism checker. I've never heard of this. Choose your writer. You can pay people. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, this kind of creeps me out. I'm going to just call you NC. This kind of creeps me out, man. Oh my god, you can buy research papers? Oh, this creeps me out, dude. The professional term paper... Oh my god. Get your term paper written just starting at $15 a page. Ugh. I don't know why, man. This really creeps me out. Customer service agent. Stuck with your assignment? We've got you covered. What are you working on? Should I talk? What should I say? What am I working on? should I say? Nah, maybe I'll make that into a video sometime. It'd be funny. That's kind of creepy. But hey, if it works, I suppose. No, not if it works. Motherfucker, I wrote 200 pages of a book. You can write a paper. But I appreciate you turning me on to something I've never even heard of. Of course something like that exists, right? Of course something like that exists. But anyway, NC, I appreciate that, man. I hope everything's going well for you. I'm very curious. I want to see some testimonials. How can you possibly hire somebody to write something about a research paper that they've probably never researched? Interesting. I got an A last time. That's crazy, man. That's insane. That's crazy. But anyway, I appreciate it. Hopefully it goes well. Franz Nertnan, it's good to see you as always, man. Thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I appreciate that. Favorite Star Wars game still to this day is Star Wars Trilogy Arcade. Nice. Used to always play it with my dad when we went to the mall. Very similar story for me. First of all, dude, I sunk many hours into that game. I always felt it was so clunky and I died so fast. I should have said I sunk so many quarters into that game. But there was something just very immersive about that game. Sitting there with the joystick, you know, at the end you fight with a lightsaber, and that always felt super clunky to me. But there was just something about sitting in that pod. Well, there were different versions of it, like there often are. Some of them were kind of completely enclosed. You could, some of the pod, there was like a pod around you and you were immersed in it. Well, you still had just a 2D screen in front of you. Some of them were just kind of basic, run-of-the-mill seat, joystick, screen. Yeah, that was a hell of a fun game, man. I have like just great memories of. So as some of you guys know, we actually recently went there again, but it's been like a 50-year family tradition. My entire family goes up to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, the Smoky Mountains. We rent a cabin. It's a long family tradition, and we just got back from that trip about 2 weeks ago. And when I was a kid, man, there's just arcades galore in Gatlinburg. And that's what we did. Me and my cousins, we would just go play arcades, and the two arcades that I just vividly remember playing nonstop was the Star Wars Trilogy and also whatever Time Crisis games were out at the time. And Area 51 and that Aerosmith arcade game. Do you remember that, where you shot CDs at aliens and you had a machine gun? That game was awesome. Oh my God, there's so many good games now that I'm thinking about it. Simpsons Arcade up there. Simpsons Arcade is probably my favorite all-time arcade game. But yeah. What year did the Star Wars Trilogy Arcade come out? Star Wars. I feel like I was probably 12 or 13 years old when that came out. Star Wars Trilogy Arcade. 1998. Oh, okay. So yep, I was 12 years old when that came out. Yep, good times. Good times, man. Good times. It actually looks pretty good for being that old, considering, 1998. I guess it's like N64 graphics. But yeah. Stand-up version. You can buy the stand-up version on eBay for $3,200. Are you interested? Are you interested, Franz? Let's see. Yeah, $3,200. Or $150 per month for 24 months. Is that right? 154 times. Okay, well, that's a lot of interest on that. You can do that? You can do that on eBay? You can make people basically take out a loan? That's crazy. Weird, man. Oh my God, sorry guys, I'm gonna go down this rabbit hole. Simpsons Arcade. Let's see if somebody's 4-player multi, $3,900. Goodness gracious. Wow, these are expensive. $1,800 for Miss Pac-Man. Whoa, and it's not even like original. Wow. The Simpsons 4-player art works great. $4,000. Wow. Crazy. Anyway, friends. I'd rather get the sit-down one. I feel like the Blat. Oh yeah, you have to get the sit-down one. I mean, yeah, if you were to buy one, I mean, that would take up a whole damn room. But yeah, you would. For me, I would have to get the sit-down one to feel like I'm sitting in a cockpit, right? But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, France. And Vince Wynn, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that, man. My favorite game is the one where Palpatine turns out to be a clone the whole time. I haven't read any of those articles or anything, Vince. I saw a lot of people posting something about the novelization. I don't know if I'll end up reading the novelization. You know, I saw the movie. I usually don't. If I see a movie, I usually don't read the book after I see the movie. I've never done it that way. I usually read the book first and then see a movie. But this is a unique situation because it's Star Wars and that's not how it comes out, right? But I would rather read a different Star Wars book than... I'm not going to... You dummy. Get out of here. This is not... I play games occasionally. Sometimes these are hangout streams. Have some patience. Play a game, play a game, play a game. No, the big problem, Vince, is that Palpatine was in the game in the or the movie in the first place, right? It's still an idea and a concept that just kind of bums me out, you know? I mean, to me, it's just so dumb. It's just uninventive and unimaginative, and you could have done an endless amount of interesting things, and just to bring back out of nowhere this villain just feels like so ham-fisted. I mean, I've said this ad nauseum. My throat's bleeding. I've talked about it so much. It's just, I don't know, man. And I'm fine with goofy shit. You know, I'm completely fine with things not needing to be overly explained, or needing backstory or whatnot. And the fact that Palpatine's backstory or reason for still existing wasn't necessarily fully explained in the movie, actually didn't bother me. I don't need, you know, but just the overall fact of him being back is just dumb to me. So, anyway, Vince. Pickle Snoke. There you go, Braxton. But I appreciate that, man. Galaxy of Heroes. Boss, I've installed Galaxy of Heroes. Well, I've installed it maybe a couple of years ago when it first came out. I don't think I ever played it. I have a really hard time getting into mobile games. I don't know why. I just don't have the patience. I feel like if I'm on my phone, I don't really want to play games. I don't know. I want to play games on my PC or my console. If I'm laying in bed and I'm on my phone, I'm usually, I don't know, scrolling through bullshit on eBay and seeing if there's any cool stuff. I never buy it. I'm just curious what, like, oh, I wonder how much this figure is going for. Oh, I wonder how much this video game that I used to play. Or I'm just scrolling through my Google News feed. Rarely scrolling through Twitter. Occasionally I'll check, like, what's trending on Twitter just out of curiosity, what's going on in the world or what people are mad at. But it's very rare for me to play a game on my phone. In fact, I would say the only game that I've played in the past 2 years on my phone has been Euchre, which is a card game that my entire family plays, and we have Euchre tournaments as a family whenever we all get together. And that's the only game that I have on my phone and that I've probably played on my phone in the past 2 years. So, anyway. Yeah. What's your favorite fast food restaurant, Cal Walker? It's tough, man. If I eat fast food, which is maybe a couple times a year, it's very rare. Usually just on road trips. I would say that my go-to burger is probably Wendy's. If I could have anything, but oh, dude, I will crush some Crystal. I will get a sack full of Crystal and eat 12 Crystal burgers by myself and a fry, 2 fries. It comes with 12 and 2 fries and 2 drinks. It's for 2 people, but I could devour it myself. I haven't had that in a couple. I probably haven't had that in 3 or 4 years. No, actually, the last time I had a sack full might have been before my wedding. And wow, that's crazy to think. Huh. Anyway. But yeah. So yeah, probably Wendy's or Chick-fil-A. I don't know. But let's see. Pumps out some very interesting stories. Sometimes it's like playing a game and probably with your friends, but AI get. Are you talking? Oh, I'm not a big. Oh! I didn't know the context, Matt. I'm not big into mobile games too, but you should try out AI Dungeon. It's free to download. Basically, you play through text-based stories that an AI adapts to everything you type. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Sounds pretty inventive. But yeah. If you could master any force power, what would it be? Light or dark side? Sith talkers, I would be super boring with my force powers. I would want to be, I don't care about pull. I don't know. I would want like the ability to. Oh man. What is it called? Is it called force perception? No. Mind probe. Yeah, okay. Duh. I would want mind probe, but because this is an incredibly boring answer. I would want the ability, the force power of Mind Probe, so I could become the longest running Jeopardy champion on the planet Earth. I would win for years to where they would have to change the rule or create a new rule to where you could only be on there for like a couple months. I would have Mind Probe, and I would be the longest running Jeopardy contestant in history. Or I would want the ability to jump super high. And I would subtly use it and be the most out of shape 6'2" basketball player, best in the world to ever played. Yeah, boring, but yeah. Appreciate that, Vince. And Caleb Kemp, thank you so much, man. I greatly appreciate that. Honorable mention to the OG Lego Star Wars game. They're what got me into Star Wars. No kidding, Caleb. 2 people tonight saying that their kind of first thing to get them into Star Wars were Lego games. That's pretty awesome. I mean, I'm trying to. I never played a Star Wars game. I definitely didn't play a Star Wars game before I saw the movies or got into Star Wars. The only Star Wars games that were out, probably by the time that I did see Star Wars, there was an old arcade game that came out in the 80s. 83. I know I played that, but I was so young I barely remember it. Star Wars NES games. I'm trying to think when I would have played. So okay. Oh, computer game. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah. I don't know if I ever played this. Shadows of the Empire. Vintage. And this is not Shadows of the Empire. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm looking at Star Wars on the Super Nintendo. Super Star Wars is so much fun, man. God, these would be so much fun to play on a stream now that I think about it, man. Caleb. There's got to be an NES emulator. Let's see. How could I play? Is that possible to play the? I am majorly gonna look into this. Licensed by Nintendo. 1991. I found an emulator, but I would like to download it so that I could actually stream it. Save game, save manager, control settings, download save state. Huh, okay. I'm going down a rabbit hole right now, Caleb, with old Star Wars games. And I think it would be awesome to play this. Wow, it's the full game. Okay, anyway. I'm driving a speeder right now. Dude. Okay, all right. I'm going to quit out of this. I'm sorry, guys. I was just looking at an emulator. That might be my next fun project that I do. Emulating some Star Wars games for a live stream, like old NES and Super Nintendo Star Wars games. That might be a blast, man. So, all right. Anyway, I appreciate that, Caleb. Hope you're having a good one, man. And thank you for, in a roundabout way, it is time for me to emulate some Star Wars games and stream them. I think that would be such a fun thing to do. But anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Icy Bubba, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Fallen Order is definitely my favorite. It is my personal favorite single-player Star Wars game of all time. I stress single-player. If I wipe away the nostalgia, if I wipe away the nostalgia goggles, if I wipe away the years of the decades of playing like Shadows of the Empire, Fallen Order is my favorite single-player Star Wars game. I honestly, it's the story is so fun, the gameplay is so intense, the combat is difficult. It's a good length.
My first Star Wars game was Lego Star Wars for the Ds. It was also
crazy.
My first time hearing about Star Wars.
Sam, thank you so much. They're the third person. That's crazy, man. I just different worlds. That's nuts, man. I greatly appreciate that incredibly generous super chat this evening, Sam. Give me one sec. I got Icy, I got Vince, I got Oscar, I got Sam. But I appreciate that, man. So Icy, yeah, Fallen Order is definitely my favorite single player Star Wars game that I've ever played. And Star Wars games needed single player Star Wars games needed a win, right? I was actually kind of nervous before the game came out because, I wanted a good Star Wars game. I wanted something that would make people excited for future Star Wars games and say, yeah, they made a good one. They did it. First Star Wars single player game, solely single player Star Wars game in a very, very long time. Boom. They nailed it, in my opinion. So, yeah, I get it, Icy. I'm with you. But I appreciate that, man. And Vince says, ever had White Castle? Heard it's coming to Orlando. I'm ready to compare it. I need In and Out closer by also. Vince, I actually thought about you the other day, man. You said you deleted your Twitter, right? Do you have an email? Do you have an email? What a fucking stupid question. Yeah, you said you deleted your Twitter? Do you have an Instagram by chance? Just easiest way to DM you. So yeah, I've had White Castle. It's been probably since I visited my family in Ohio, maybe it was probably like when I was 19. So it's been a long time. So it's, yeah, I haven't had it in a long time. It's very similar to Crystal, right? Extremely similar to Crystal. If you've had Crystal, you've had what is comparable to White Castle. Now, what I definitely like Crystal more. Oh my God, this is such a fat, blobby, disgusting, greasy, stupid conversation, but I love it. Now I'm hungry. I definitely prefer Crystal, what they do on their burger. White Castle, what do they put mayonnaise and burger toppings. Let me see. It's been a long time, but I don't think it's the same. What does White Castle put on their burgers? Called meat horn. Meat horn, which puts holes in the law of patties. Okay, that's not what I asked. What do they put on? I don't know. But what, I don't even know what I can't find anything. But anyway, Crystal puts like it's mustard, diced onions, and pickles. That just by chance are my three favorite ingredients on a burger. If I'm making a burger at home, the three things that I need are mustard, pickle, and onions. That's just, if those are the three, like I could leave everything else for the most part. Those three things are kind of a necessity for me. Simple, you know. But yeah, I haven't had White Castle in a very long time. But yeah, man, I take that back. They sell them in the frozen food section. If you really want to know, Vince, you could go get them in the frozen section and pop them in the microwave for a few minutes and eat them. I used to do that when I was in school. Like this is probably in 2006, because I didn't know how to eat and feed myself. I was a 18, 19-year-old idiot who just lived off of a microwave and a diet of fast food. I didn't know the first thing about cooking myself a meal, which is a shame. My wife is very excited to like raise our daughter to know how to cook, and she's super excited to teach her to like roast a chicken and just know how to cook for herself when she eventually does move out, you know, and she's just not eating bullshit, which is kind of fun, but to think about. But yeah, anyway, Vince, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, they do suck, Cal. Like, they're not good. I've never had a frozen White Castle from a grocery store freezer section that has fully cooked through or not had pockets of freezing cold icy burger after cooking. Oh yeah. Anyway, that's a good thing, Vince. It's a good thing. About the only thing we get from the frozen section are like veggies, like if that we want to keep on hand for a long time. I'll boil some broccoli or, you know, corn or whatnot. So we'll just have like bags of lima beans or something like that in the freezer just to store away for whenever we want to have them. Oh, yeah. I apologize for being super long-winded, ladies and gentlemen. Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much for this. Oh, wait. Who was next? Oh, Sam was next. Sam, and then Oscar, and then Senpai Gar, and then Icy Bubba. Thanks, guys. Sam says, well, first of all, thank you for the incredibly generous super chat and channel support this evening, Sam. I appreciate the hell out of that. My first Star Wars game was Lego Star Wars for the DS. It was also my first time hearing about Star Wars. That's mind-blowing to me. Well, it's really cool. Mind-blowing in a good way, Sam, because, you know, the best way to describe it was from the Pete, the guy who is the host of Across the Galaxy. Across the Galaxy is a podcast that I was on recently, and he was talking about points of entry to the Star Wars franchise, right? And that's kind of the best way to describe it. Points of entry. when I was growing up, the points of entry were just the original trilogy. I mean, that was it. Unless nobody played like a Star Wars video game before they saw the movie. That just never happened. I cannot imagine that happening. The points of entry for me and most of my generation was the original trilogy. And then the points of entry widened. Yeah, the prequels, and then they widened even further. There were more games, way more games. They widened even further in the Clone Wars animated show, and widened even further in comics and books and all sorts of stuff. And then boom, sequel trilogy, more Clone Wars, Rebels, Resistance. It's just, there's just a vast amount of spots that you can create an entry point into Star Wars from. It's really cool to think about, you know. So to know that 3 people, and maybe more, just from this stream alone, have said that their first experience or the first time hearing about Star Wars was from Lego Star Wars is pretty awesome. It's I don't know. It's really it's just really neat to think about, you know. And that has just broadened so much. It's just expanded so much into so many different points of entry. Just cool. But anyway, Sam, I never owned a DS. So I never played that when it first came out. Let's see, what year did that come out? Is it the same, I guess? 2007? Okay, I didn't know if it came out later or earlier for the DS than all the other platforms, but anyway, I appreciate that, Sam. So it also came out for Windows at this time, or maybe it was staggered. I don't know. But yeah, Sam, I appreciate the hell out of that channel support this evening, man. And Oscar, another Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga 2007. A lot of #1 fans of that game. You're the 4th person to. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more people in the chat that I haven't even seen that said that their favorite Star Wars game of all time is that Lego Star Wars game. It's just crazy to think about. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. Oh, Vince, I can find you on there. All right. Are you? What's your handle? If you don't mind me asking, I'll just shoot you. Whatever. I can't find it. What? Okay. Let me see. Maximus. Nice. All right. Cool. Yeah, I'll look for an email maybe tonight for me. Cool. But anyway, Sam, I appreciate the hell out of that, man. And Oscar, I appreciate that as well. Is Lego Star Wars available on Steam, Oscar? Let's check that out. So I don't know if you were here earlier, but I have a pretty huge desire right now to play some old NES. Oh yeah, Lego Star Wars here. Wait. Some old NES like emulators on a stream. Play some old Star Wars games, you know? And it would be fun to play this as well. I'm looking for it. Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Oh, here we go. Oh, I own it. Okay. I didn't even realize that I owned it on Steam. I own it on Steam. Should I play that on a stream sometime then? Let me see. Star Wars. Is it under Lego? I guess maybe. Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Okay. Playtime 4 minutes. I'll install that tonight. Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, I'll install that. I'll do a stream maybe this week sometime playing that. That'd be a lot of fun, man. There's no multiplayer for these games, right? Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. Maybe maybe Thursday. Yeah, Thursday would probably be the best. I won't be able to do anything Friday, Saturday, or Sunday where we're going to a wedding. Kind of busy for those 3 days. So yeah, maybe Thursday I'll do this. I'll keep it up and then install it after the stream. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Oscar. And Senpai Gar, I can't pick one, but some of my favorites are Knights of the Old Republic, Bounty Hunter, a game on my favorite character, Republic Commando, Battlefront 2, Shadows of the Empire. Those are all. So I've played KOTOR, not to completion. I never beat it. I owned it when it first came out, and I barely remember playing it. And I've played maybe 9 hours of it on Steam on the PC. I haven't played it in so long though. Never beat it, like I said. I barely remember playing the second one. I know I played it even less, though. Bounty Hunter is a game that I never played. I probably never heard about it until maybe 2 years ago. Or, no, I take that back. The first time I heard about it was when I first started streaming heavily. I didn't start streaming heavily on the channel until it was like 2000. It was early 2017, I think. I think I started streaming. Yeah, I think it was like maybe October of 2017 is when I started streaming a lot. I can't remember. That's when I first heard about that game. I never owned a GameCube. I think that's where it came out. I never owned any of the systems that Bounty Hunter came out on, so I never had an opportunity to play it. None of my friends had GameCubes that I remember. Same with Republic Commando, Senpai. I never played that when it first came out. I think that came out in 2006. Am I remembering that correctly? Republic Commando. 2005. So in 2005, I graduated high school the year prior, and definitely wasn't playing very many games. And if I was playing games, I was playing Counter-Strike. That's pretty, and Ultima Online, those two games. And Republic Commando at the time probably just didn't interest me that much because I was never a big fan of like prequel era stuff, and yeah, you know how it goes. But yeah. Anyway, Senpai, I appreciate the hell out of that channel support this evening. GameCube and PS2. Commando was like Star Wars version of Halo. LL. Yeah. So I never owned a GameCube and I never owned a PS2. So anyway. I've played Republic Commando. I played it maybe 2 years ago for the first time. Maybe even longer than that. It might have been 3 years ago. I played it on a stream. And it was kind of interesting. Like, I don't have the nostalgia for it, right? In the same way, if you guys played some of the older Star Wars games that I played, you might not like them. You don't have that nostalgia for them. I couldn't really get into the game. Granted, I should have played it a little bit before I started streaming because I kind of just threw myself in. I was trying to pay attention to the chat, and there was a lot of things that I missed and controls that I couldn't figure out and whatever. So, yeah, that I would love to get back into playing some older Star Wars games. So, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll start with Lego Star Wars. I think that would be a fun one. But because it seems like a lot of people, even Mark's Mediocre Productions says that that's his favorite as well. But anyway, Senpai. Oh, and Shadows of the Empire is I've sunk more hours in Shadows. So the 3 games that I've played more than any, I would say, Star Wars wise, Shadows of the Empire, Star Wars Galaxies, and Battlefront 2, like modern Battlefront 2. So I've played, and especially on a stream, I've streamed more Shadows of the Empire. That's I've definitely streamed Battlefront 2 more than any game on this channel. The second game would be Shadows of the Empire. I've streamed that quite a bit over the past few years. So anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Icy Bubba, when I last had White Castle like 5+ years ago, it wasn't that good, but Crystal takes forever every time, so not the worst thing to have White Castle in the area. Takes forever. That's interesting. Yeah, the last time I went there, it took so long too. I have a vivid memory of it like pouring rain. It was I think it was either before an event or after an event that we went to. Probably after. You know how it goes. Yeah, if we're talking fast food, like I said, man, I usually just have fast food on road trips. We eat pretty damn healthy. And it's there, dude. There was a time when this was in like 2007, 2008. I got big. I weighed about 45 pounds heavier than I am now. I got big because I literally just ate like a diet of bullshit. And yeah, it was crazy. I got huge. And then after deployment, I came back like 190. I left at like 250. I came back at 190. I'm 6'2". It was just like I turned into a different human being. It was crazy, man. But yeah. Anyway. But yeah, I like it. It's addictive. It's delicious. I'm never full from it. You always like are hungry 15, 20, 30 minutes later. But yeah, anyway. I appreciate that, Icy. Now I'm hungry again. I do love it. Trust me, I love a good burger. Nothing better. It's my favorite. People get burgers wrong, though. I don't know, man. Some people think it's all about having a giant ass hockey puck of a burger. You can make it too thick. I don't know. I like a good smash burger. I do. But yeah, anyway. I appreciate that, Icy. And Oscar Rodriguez, once again, my point of entry was Episode 1 and Star Wars Trilogy 2000 on VHS. Nice. The 2000 Trilogy was just the 97 Special Edition repackaged to look like Episode 1. Wait, let me read that again. The 2000 Trilogy was just the 1997 Special Edition repackaged to look like Episode 1. So let me see. So I'm gonna keep an eye on the chat. 2000 VHS Star Wars. Oh, I don't know if I've ever seen this, Oscar. Star Wars Trilogy VHS tape. Is there a share button? Collectible box set. Huh. New, sealed? What? $13? You can buy this brand new, sealed, never opened. 20 years ago? Oh, there's a lot of these for sale. Star Wars box set. Maybe this is what you're talking about. I don't think I've ever seen these box sets. Oscar? If you want to see what I'm looking at, just Google or just go on eBay and search 2007 or no. Search 2000 VHS Star Wars and you'll see a few box sets that I'm looking at. Interesting. No, Galaxies was an MMO. That's my favorite Star Wars game of all time. Galaxies. You might be thinking of Galactic Battlegrounds. But yeah. Anyway, Oscar, I appreciate that, man. I'm sure Episode 1 was the entry point for an entire generation of Star Wars fans. You know, new Star Wars, giant hype. Everybody's geared up and super pumped. But yeah. Anyway, man, I appreciate that. And Vince Wynn coming in with the final super chat and channel support of the stream. I greatly appreciate that. Vince Wynn, I had Crystal. God damn it, I'm getting hungry. I had Crystal delivered recently, and it's like maybe 8 miles away, and I got it at least 12. I felt like a lazy slob. Dude, there is nothing. I'll tell you a little short story. Me and my buddy, one of my best friends, the guy in Sorry About the Mess who dressed up as Han. This is the guy I'm talking about. So it was super late one night. We used to play Day of Defeat together, and we would be talking on the microphone. He lived maybe 5 miles away from me. I drive over, I pick him up. It's probably 12 midnight, maybe 1 in the morning. Crystal's open 24/7. I pick him up. We just got done playing a couple hours of Day of Defeat, and we're going to Crystal. I'm super excited. I lean out the window at the order line, and I say, yeah, I'll have a sack full. And my buddy says, of dick. And I looked at him. I just looked at him, and I said, well, we're not eating here anymore. That was it. And my buddy was like, he was so mad at himself because I'm not going to go through that drive-through line now. You ruined it. Where are we going to go now? Where are we going to go? What's open? McDonald's? A Whataburger hasn't been built yet. This is in the early 2000s. What are we going to do? We're going to go to Waffle House? With the crooks and the scoundrels? Like the Mos Eisley Cantina? At 18, 19 years old? I guess we could have. But that's my stupid story. I love Crystal, man. It's the ultimate shithole. I want to pig out on 12 mini burgers and some of the most plain fries you can ever imagine. But I love it. I don't know why. I think it's the quantity. I think it's the quantity. But anyway, yeah. So you'd use like DoorDash or something like that? We've done that a few times. I've sworn off those. I've sworn off those apps, man. I've sworn off Instacart. I've sworn off DoorDash or Uber Eats. Just because when my bill comes, after the delivery fee and the tip and everything, I'm sitting back like I could have got another meal for what I just paid for delivery. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe I'm just kind of like becoming. Maybe I'm just becoming an old son of a bitch. But yeah. Anyway. But yeah. What's up? What's up, Mr. Saint Jake? Good to see you, man. Yeah, I'm actually hopping off. But anyway, Vince, I appreciate that, man. Maybe we're going to a wedding on Saturday. There is a good chance that some fast food is going to be brought into the equation late at night. And maybe I'll pull the trigger and Uber Eats some Crystal to the old hotel room. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate it, guys. To everybody who tuned in this evening, thank you so much. Talking a lot of Star Wars games and talking an equal amount of fast food. But I love it. I love it. So yeah, tomorrow night I'm probably going to end up doing another stream. For those of you who weren't here, maybe like 20 minutes ago, I kind of went down a rabbit hole of old Star Wars games. A lot of people want me to play Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga. It's been so long since I've played that, and I'm looking at my Steam account, and it says that I've only played it for 4 minutes on the PC. So I've never really touched it on the PC, and I've never streamed it. So I think it would be a lot of fun to do a long stream and play it. I'm going to say that I'm probably going to do that on Thursday night, if that's cool with you guys. So Thursday night, look for a longish 2-hour maybe Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga stream. We will hang out, play some games, and you guys, I'm sure you guys will, I will need you to help me through playing it, because I suck so bad at those Star Wars games, or the Lego games rather. But yeah. Anyway, to everybody who supported the channel on Super Chats, I appreciate the ever-living shit out of you. The channel survives because of your support. I appreciate it. To everybody who hung out in the chat or just watched the stream without making a peep, thank you guys for adding some life to the channel, having some fun. So yeah, working on some videos, just trying to stream every night this week. Wednesday, Battlefront. Thursday, Star Wars, Lego. Tomorrow, probably just another Lightspeed Lounge. If you guys can think of any topics of conversation that you want me to talk about, like I've been, what's your favorite Star Wars game or that kind of stuff, I'm all ears, man. Sack full of chicks. Crystal chicks weren't a thing back then. Crystal chicks. When this happened, unless when did we oh my god. Crystal, or we're talking about Crystal again. I love it. Crystal chicks. Crystal chicks invented? Is that what I need to Google? Oh, it's different. It's spelled with there's no C in it. It's just chicks with a K. In 1998. Oh, wow, they've been around for a lot longer than I ever knew. 1998. All right, never mind. Yeah, I could have saved it that way. Oh well. But yeah. Oh, Jedi Mandalore, thank you so much for the final super chat and channel support of the stream. I greatly appreciate that, man. Empire at War needs a sequel. Come on, EA. I'm agreeing with you on part here. I don't necessarily want it to be a direct sequel to Empire at War. I don't want it to be like Empire at War 2. I just want a Star Wars RTS. I need a good RTS to play. I haven't played an RTS that I loved through and through since Company of Heroes in 2007. I'm sure there's a lot of great ones nowadays, but I just haven't played them. Yeah, I want a Star Wars RTS. I really enjoyed playing Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds back in the day because it was basically Age of Empires 2, and I loved Age of Empires 2. I don't know if we'll ever get a Star Wars RTS from EA, Jedi. Like, when I think of RTS games, they seem to be relatively lower budgeted and made by like studios that are way smaller than EA, if that makes sense. I would love, this goes to a deeper problem in my opinion. I would love for the Star Wars property, the Star Wars gaming license, to be kind of diversified and thrown to various developers and licensors. You could get some smaller independent studios in there to make some smaller independent games. And one of those games could be a Star Wars RTS, Not everything needs to be this, like, I don't know, $150 million production. This giant-ass Star Wars game. Give some smaller developers the chance to make basic Star Wars RTS games. I would love that. So, yeah. Love it. Love the idea. Not necessarily a direct sequel. I just want more Star Wars RTS. And are we ever going to get it? I hope so. And I don't want it to be a damn mobile game, because I will never play that shit. But yeah. Anyway. I appreciate that, man. And Icy Bubba, thank you for the final super chat and channel support of the stream. Publix and Crystal, staples of Florida. I agree. What are some other stats? Publix is certainly a staple of Florida. Oftentimes, if I'm talking about grocery stores on a live stream, I will say Publix, and I don't realize, and I don't catch myself because, probably the vast majority of people that watch these streams don't know what the hell a Publix is. Like, if you told me what the most common grocery store out in Washington State is, I probably have never heard of it. Maybe I have, but but yeah. If anybody is ever in Florida or ever in Georgia or ever in Tennessee, I don't know how high Publix goes. I'm pretty sure they're pretty spread out nowadays. You got to go to the deli and get yourself a pub sub, man. Get an ultimate spicy mustard, dude, or a chicken tender sub. Man, this has just evolved to be the HelloGreedo, the HelloGreedo late night diner. Oh, that's dude, that's what I needed. Oh, what a fun idea! Instead of Lightspeed Lounge, the Lightspeed Diner, and I'm gonna put. Oh my god, I love this idea. Oh, I just have a vision in my head, and you can't see what's in my head right now. The Lightspeed, it's going to be a looped thing. Lightspeed Diner. Let me write down some ideas. Lightspeed Diner. I'm literally going to green screen myself. Lightspeed Diner. Or actually, I could probably do this at a diner locally. sit there with a cup of coffee and a book and like sit at the diner counter, just a one shot of me taking a sip of coffee, turn the page of the book. 30 seconds later, I'd just do the same thing, looped over and over again. It'd be fun. I'm gonna make that. The Lightspeed Diner. Cool. I dig it. Jesus. All right, guys. I appreciate it. Vince Wynn, Oscar Rodriguez, Mr. St. Jake, Icy Bubba, Vince Wynn once again. Thank you guys so much for the support. Vince says cheers right back at you with the green guy, green pear-shaped dude with a red mug of stuff. Oscar Rodriguez, I think you should try the Outlast games. Are those the I think I played the first one, like they're horror games, right? I vaguely remember playing the first one. But are you talking about streaming them? See, if I was to stream them, it would be way more fun if I didn't have the helmet bullshit, right? Wouldn't it? Because you could see my reaction and stuff like that. If I played it live with like a live webcam, it would be so boring because it would have a helmet on, right? Yeah, I would like to play something like that. Around every Halloween, I get into I want to play a horror game mode, which led me a couple of years ago to buy the most recent Resident Evil game, which was fun. I didn't play enough of it to really get a kick out of it. But the past couple years, I've played the Friday the 13th game, like non-stop around Halloween. Friday the 13th is a fun game for a couple weeks around Halloween, and then I never touch it. And then I reinstall it the next Halloween. But yeah, anyway. Oscar, I appreciate that, man. And Mr. St. Jake, thank you so much. Boom. Right back at you. Let me make a boom cheer sound with my Tervis. I'm actually drinking out of a Tervis First Order Stormtrooper. 32 ounce, is that what this is? 24 ounce Tervis. Oh, yeah. I appreciate that, man. And Icy Bubba, I must have the final super chat. I appreciate it, Eagle, America, man. I appreciate the ever-living hell out of everybody that supported. And Publix and Crystal, indeed, my friend. And Vince Wynn, piece of pie. Lightspeed Diner, coming in. I'll try to make that within the next few weeks. We'll have the Lightspeed Lounge. We'll have the Lightspeed Diner. The Lightspeed living room. I'm going to make a lot of these, and it's going to change it up. It's going to be fun, man. I like this. I like this concept. But anyway. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody that supported the channel through Super Chats, thank you so much. To everybody who's on the chat, everybody who is lurking, just listening, I appreciate it. Yeah, streaming every night this week. Tune in around 7:30 p.m. We'll have some fun. Cool? Cool. All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening, your morning, your afternoon, wherever the hell you are on planet Earth. And I will catch you all on the flip side. See ya!